I'm going to preview the Baylor at Texas A&M women's soccer game. And I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. And to recap quickly what Baylor did in the practice games, LSU was a 1-1 draw, but that lone goal from LSU was a penalty kick, which, that's total guessing game, and it did defeat SMU 3-2. Now, the game against Texas A&M will be played on August 14th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time on SEC Network Plus. This is according to Texas A&M's website. And I'm going to just make mention up front. Texas A&M does not return a lot of production in terms of goals when compared to a year ago. When it's crazy is, according to Baylor, it's at 8 p.m. So either way, it's on August 14th. And hopefully the weather is good. Because, if they don't have good weather, they're going to delay it and then potentially cancel it. So it's either way, it's on the road against A&M. So what are some players to keep an eye on? I'll put the roster for Texas A&M if you want in the description below, as well as the outlook on A&M. This is based on last year's stuff. In terms of the returning players. But I did put notable transfers in there as well, and y'all could look at the roster too. So they do return Cindy Fuller, a goalkeeper, aka goalie, as a sophomore, number 0, 6 foot tall, 16 goals allowed, and 49 saves. They do have their other goalie that they played a year ago, but she only had 3 saves in that set. So I'm not going to even mention that. Now, they don't really return a lot of goals. I mean, only 2 of them when you look at the amount from last year's stats. Taylor Jernigan is one of them, number 24, 5'7" forward. That's a junior. 1 goal on 12 shots attempted and 3 assists. And Kennedy Clark, number 10, 5'4" forward. That's a junior. 1 goal on 8 attempts and 2 assists. And there's a lot of 2 of them with 0 shots, and the 2 that had more than 4 shots, I'll just go over those last 3. Leah Piro, number 26, 5'6" midfielder, as a senior, 11 shots attempted and 1 assist. Reese Roop, number 12, 5'7" midfielder, as a sophomore, 9 shots attempted. And Bella James, number 3, 5'7" defender, that is a sophomore, 4 shots attempted. Of course, I did list all the other transfers, and you could check where they're from. And I'll put like I said, the roster for Texas A&M in the description below. And I don't know why Baylor's website says 8 p.m. while Texas A&M says 7:30. Somebody's gonna have to be correct. But either way, it doesn't matter. It's game number 1 of the regular season and not a practice game or anything. So obviously, and A&M did win both their practice games, by the way. However, they were against weaker opponents, as in no power conference team like Rice and UTGRV. And they won both of those 4-0 and 4-1. They lost so much production from last year when you look at the last year's stats and compared to this year's roster. Some of it was graduation, and I get it, but they lost a lot in the transfer portal to only return 2 goals. Wow. That's mind-boggling, I know. So obviously, whatever you did right in the last 2 practice games, you got to bring in this type of game. You can't be intimidated by the crowd. or opposing players or anything like that. And whatever you did wrong the last 2 games, and even in practice, you got to correct. And one thing I noticed in both of those games, they couldn't protect the lead. I mean, they were up 1-0 against LSU, and then it ended up being 1-1. While against SMU, they were actually up 2-0. But then SMU scored quickly to make it 2-1 and then ultimately tied it. And literally with 38 seconds left, Baylor scored another goal and that sealed the win, as long as they didn't give up another one, which they didn't within that time frame. And obviously you do not want to have on defense fouls in the box. You don't allow any clear shots. You got to be really good on your set piece defense, whether it's a corner kick or free kick. Obviously, you don't want to have a handball in the box as well. You got to be good in those 1v1 situations. You got to communicate across the board. And don't let them get comfortable at all. And you don't want to turn the ball over in your own end of the field, because sometimes that does cost you at times. And you need to get the ball out as soon as possible. If you get it, clear it all the way out. And on offense, you got to execute your set pieces, whether it's like a corner kick or free kick that's deep in opposing territory. You got to take advantage of it. Obviously, in PK situations, I'm not even going to mention that. It's like a total guessing game. If you're on offense, just go wherever you think the goalie's not going to think, and deceive them. Of course, the goalie, just try your best. I'm just saying because I know it's a total guessing game in that situation. And obviously, you can rely on officiating because they're not perfect. And you got to be more mentally tougher team in all this. And obviously, you do not want to have like a red card, because then you're down a player for the rest of the game. And of course, so many yellow cards on a player means suspension later on. So let's not try to do that. And you got to keep your composure and try to score early and first, and you got to protect leads better. I'm just saying, and I'm not just saying if you're up, make it 2-0, and if you're up 2-0, try to make it 3-0, and don't let them climb back in it. And the thing about it is, Baylor's a very veteran team. 24 upperclassmen out of 29 players on the roster. Well, I have to look at A&M real fast, and I apologize if I'm looking down here for this portion. And the good news is, with all that experience, they're used to road environments, but still, this is one of those games that you need to find a way to win here. And I know it's early, but let's build some momentum from the last win against SMU to this game. And obviously, you want to win those 50-50 balls in the air. You do. So A&M only has like 3 seniors, including a grad senior, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 juniors. So 13 upperclassmen, in which I know includes transfers. I know it does. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 underclassmen. So easily Baylor is the more experienced team here, and I get they have transfers too. Baylor does. But experience pays off. So and try to put all the pressure on A&M, and don't let the crowd get involved in the game as much as you can through your play. As in, keep them quiet. I mean, through positive plays for you. So anyways, let's go out, give our best shot here. And I know A&M disappointed last year. They did when you look at their record. But last year's last year, this year's this year. So we got to wait and see what ultimately happens. But this is the only game of the week for Baylor going to this matchup. And now you have a lot of time to prepare from that SMU game to this one. And I know the same thing goes for A&M. I know it doesn't. A&M does play another game after this, so we need to find. If you want to think about making an NCAA tournament this year, and I know it's way too early for that, you need to beat A&M, in my opinion. I'm just saying. And besides, winning more conference games than last year, and I know it's way too early to say that, but it's just telling the truth. You gotta get some power conference wins, and A&M is not ranked or receiving votes, by the way, but neither is Baylor in this matchup. So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like, subscribe it. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Goal, ultimate goal is 1,000 more. So my month, of course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube algorithm. Some more people see it, and the video does help as well. Some more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well. And obviously, you want to get your goal scores involved, and your midfield needs to step up in your defenders. And of course, same thing goes for your forwards and all this. And make the defense for A&M uncomfortable. Beat them in one of those 1v1 situations. And if you could draw a foul in the box, which I know you don't want to rely on officiating, that'd be huge, or even a handball. But still, you gotta go out and find ways to win, without the officiating necessarily, because it can be questionable at times.